Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews. I took last week off. I didn't really do much in terms of video reviews, or I did a lot of reading. I read chapters that were available, I just didn't do any reviews. It got me thinking about a lot of things that I've been doing, I haven't been doing, and my overall interaction with these series that I cover that I enjoy. Let's be honest, a lot of these that I read, I enjoy them, but sometimes I don't always get around to reviewing them. And sometimes you get some series that I really enjoy that finish too early, or scanner letters don't really review them or release them as much as I'd like. An example of that is Hungry Marie. Ultimately, I know I'm behind with it, but the scanner letters are even worse off, and I think we're like 3-4 chapters behind with that. So it's going to be a situation where that's going to be put on the back burner. I will be doing a catch-up video in the next couple of days, and then when releases come out, they come out. Also, at this point, there's been the Amalgam of Distortion fully kind of released, all being kind of scanner related. So I'll do a video on that. I kind of hung fired on the end of that review. I was disappointed about the way it ended, as well as a few other stuff. So I'll be doing all that. Now, that being said, I'm going to carry on doing YouTube videos. I'm not leaving. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just going to do what I enjoy. I still have my key ones, which is your Black Clover, your One Piece, and then My Hero Academia, 7 Deadly Sins, and Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail will end very soon, and then I'll start picking up Fire Force or NN no Shubitai, Fire Brigade of Flames. That being said, long enough review. 2-chapter review, 110, 111, Black Clover. Let's get it. As this is a 2-chapter review, each chapter will be reviewed a little bit shorter, not as in detail, but I'm going to try to get as much as I can in at the same time. Let's talk about number 110, St. Elmo's Fire, St. Elmo's Crossfire. There's a lot of different names for it. You know, Dante's Inferno. There's a lot of references from all the stuff. I'm not going to get into all of that because we don't have the time, and I'm sure you get a chance to look you up in your own times. Anyway, let's talk about this chapter from an overall point of view. Really, for me, this chapter was a few different things. It was about progression. It was all about kind of reflection, and it was achieving this goal that this, I guess, obstacle had been put in front of him in terms of a training camp or training arc. So essentially, Asta wants to use his new ability. Remember, the last time he actually used it, he wasn't really in a position of control. It kind of just happened. And he wants to basically use it. And the way he does that is through Ki. Remember, he's used Ki before because of Yami, and Yami taught him when he was fighting against people. He used it against the captain who betrayed the kingdom, kind of ish. So that being the key to kind of it was obviously overly simple, but that being the thing that's kind of got him over the mark was kind of like deflating. But I like the way we were brought back, and I'll explain. So let's first of all talk about the idea that he used everything that he's learned so far for this. I like that because it showed that all the trouble he went through, all the different obstacles, trials and tribulations that got him to this point, was all worth it. It was simple. Yes, that is true. And the ability of this was shown to be so strong, so magnificent, that like a magical, something that came to life, a magical creature that other people like, Noella and, Fuego, Leopold, basically were thinking about. He's got through that. So ultimately it shows that it's powerful. Then we are shown something else. He doesn't have full control. I like that. Why? Quite simply, if he all of a sudden became the master of something he's only just unlocked, it would be BS. And I like the fact that there's a but, and the but is he doesn't control it. He can activate it. It's kind of like going Super Saiyan for the first time if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, and then you've got to learn to control it. This is that journey of development. It's the next step for him. So I like that. Then let's get past that. There's another layer. He can't control it. He ends up going all the way towards Meloleona, and he gets a crack. And even she tells him, you found a little bit more about yourself, but you still have a long way to go. I like that because this also tells you in a slightly different way other than progression, a hidden meaning. There's a certain level of people that will fear the ability he has. That's ultimately going to be the case. It's like the kryptonite, I guess, for magic. But people strong enough, because he can't control it right now, will be able to counter it. and Leona showed this. So people of a certain degree, a captain or above level, when we get to these more powerful, more competent, more refined individuals, they will know how to counter this ability if he does not maximize its potential, he does not control it, if he's not in a position where he can mobilize it, react with it, become, I guess, a little bit more fluid to the point where he can use tactics with this technique. That being said, that's what I got from the chapter. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's move on to chapter 111. So, chapter 111, the most recent release. It was an interesting chapter. There's a few mixed feelings around it, and I'll explain all that in a second. But let's kind of break down the key things that we find out about this volcano. When it turns dark, that's when the hot spring turns out. So basically, that's when we see the hot springs. Until then, it's a volcano. How that works, I do not know. But hey, that's the explanation we get. Fine, no problem with that. Then it becomes fan service. Now, I have no problem with fan service. It isn't my cup of tea, I guess. I'm not really that enthralled by it, but for the people that are into fan service like that, cool, no problems with it. It's just not for me. So by all means, if the author wants to do it to a target, target a certain audience, more power to you. It's just not for me. Now, what was for me, or what I enjoyed from this chapter, were these few things I'm going to go over now. The whole division makes sense. I mean, there's an idea of segregation of, like, I guess, genders. It's like all over the world, so I guess having them mixed straight away would be kind of a bit too modern society for a lot of people's liking, and I'm cool with that. Maybe it was the editor's choice, but division works for me, because if you go to a bathhouse, majority of the time you're gonna have that division if you're nearly butt naked, right? And with these mangas, they like to get butt naked in all these scenes, so division's absolutely fine by me. Fan service galore, as I already mentioned. But what was cool, what was funny about it was little cute things, like the whole thing with Charlotte Rosalie and Yami and her, her picture him butt naked and like she get fainted. That kind of stuff was cool because it's cute. It's again fan service-ish, but it's cute. I know Yami's a man's man, and the fact that she has these feelings for him, all that kind of adds up to a little bit of a humorous thing. So it's kind of like a contradiction. I don't really like the fan service, but when you have a bit of story to it, it's not so bad. I like where it leads to. That was cool. The next part I was even more happy with. Remember, if you can think back up maybe a few reviews ago, or a few chapters reviews ago, we got introduced to the character of Leona and her being shown on the sidelines, and I said I like that because we get the idea, the plot device of introducing new characters that can be far greater in strength and ability than what we've seen so far. Okay, maybe I didn't word it that way. Okay, I've tried to articulate better things in coming weeks. Anyway, the fact that we get introduced to Noella's mother being someone that even the undefeated kind of doesn't really work this way now, being able to defeat her mother, shows that there is another level. So this level is where she's meant to be stronger than a captain, right? This is showing you another level. It's all about these level games, and this is important because going through all these different paces where Asta's now being better than some loads of people and the third eye and things like that, and showing potential. It's important for there to be another levels to kind of reach and grow, and ceilings to get out of. Ultimately, the reason why is because you don't have a goal, you've got no room to grow, and that's sometimes you need to be backed into a corner, sometimes you just need something to aspire to. Having these other goals are important for characters to develop. This one is most important for me because it's Noella. Why? Because Noella's royalty, yeah, we get that. She hasn't refined her control, and we get the little hint that sometimes it's not just about how much power you have, it's how refined your power is as to how effective it can be. I like that, so that's a good point. But it shows you, because she's like her mother and she has potentially got the same amount of power, it's not confirmed, I'm just assuming here, that she can potentially surpass her mother, who is stronger than Leona. Important for her to be an ally of somebody like Asta, right? That is really important. Now, that being said, we get all sorts of other stuff. We get the rivalry confirmed and all this stuff. What I mean by that is the Asta, Yuno, and Leopold thing. I liked that for a different reason than normal. So I have a theory out there that you're probably going to shout at me, disagree with me, ignore that. When it comes to generations, there needs to be a decent amount of rivals for some people to really thrive. People that are stronger than you because of the elements, people that are more talented than you, stuff like this, where you can work with your peers to become a better person, better martial artist, better magician, whatever. And the fact that Leopold has found Yuno as well as Asta as rivals, you know, for tenacity, for ability, for working hard, this will push each of them, I guess, forward to become stronger versions of themselves. But there needs to be more rivals, in my opinion. If you think there's 9 orders, I think there should be at least 9 rivals from different orders. We haven't seen them all, and I would like to see all the younger generation, all the different orders, and really build some type of crew. Kind of like if you think about, you know, Naruto with the Konoha, there's loads of them that are rivals. But if you think about this kind of concept in the Black Clover world, when we start seeing these other generations, which we'll probably see, and I'll explain later on in the next arc about the exam, I'm really looking forward to seeing these other rivals that will be, you know, tested, or you come against, or you ultimately kind of find rivals in these types of situations. That's what I'm looking for. So we need more. Technically, you could say the captain's a rival, but there's questions on him whether he's actually legitimate and not liar. That's, you know, Reddit's all galore for that if you want to check that out. Anyway, so the fact that the rivalries are there, I really enjoy. Then we move on to Yami being this instigator. I like how he's manipulating the young generation. Asta's like, no, my heart is taken, and that ends the chapter. I like the fact that he was able to manipulate Leopold, who was probably the stupidest one of them, even though stupidest isn't really a word. Let's just say he's a little bit more naive. That being said, Yuno holds his guns, Asta is, you know, Romeo, he holds his guns, and we have the end of the chapter. And that's it. That's like the little mini training hour. What was it, 3 or 4 chapters or something like that? It was quick, it was efficient, it got to the point where we were shown some new skills that everyone's going to use, and that's going to help them in the exam. That's what I'm looking forward to. It makes me think this exam's going to be crazy. That's what I'm looking forward to, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm back, baby. Plenty of videos hopefully coming from me. I'll be doing a lot of catch-ups. Hope you're there for a ride. I'll see you next time. Peace.